so here's our opening hand. We're going to go for turn 2 now, because at this point this whole deck is pretty much a turn 2 deck. This is a Guardragon deck, it's not a Dragon Link deck. Technically yes, in the whole term that it's a Dragon Link deck, that makes sense of course, but in the actual like format itself, Dragon Links are their own separate deck on its own that the opponent actually is very well aware about. So with that being said, they don't know that this deck is actually better suited to going second, because we've pretty much proved it in the combo video, we've proved it in the previous 2 test hand videos, test hands that we actually performed as well. And we could show that every single time we always have a board that can OTK the opponent. So you're actually benefiting off going second in this particular case. So what does this mean? It means you could kind of catch your opponents off guard. In an actual tournament, if your opponent wins the die roll, they technically want to go first for the fact that they want to set up their board. And knowing that you're technically playing a Dragon Link deck, the opponent will actually assume that you're trying to set up a board of negates, so they're absolutely going to refuse to let you go first, when in actuality, you going second is actually going to be really amazing, because you're pretty much going to OTK your opponents. They will never guess that Guardragons are actually going to be in this particular status. And even in game 2 and 3, the opponent will still assume that you're playing Dragon Links as well. Even though you're playing Guardragons, they don't really know what pure Guardragons work, and it kind of gives you the advantage in this case. So if you could play the right way, if you could keep your opponent guessing with how this deck actually works, then you would actually be on the winning side most of the time. You would actually be winning on your very first turn, assuming that you're going second in this particular scenario. However, we're just going to go with 6 cards because that's demonstrating us going second. So with that being said, let's begin. We're going to activate Dragon Ravine. This will allow us to ditch 1 card. We're going to ditch off the Andrake to the graveyard, allowing us to send our World Legacy Guardragon Mardark. That's standard protocol, of course. We're going to also go for the unexpected die, and this will pretty much allow us to bring out our key card of the deck, Justiciar. And I'm actually really starting to love this card as well. It's quite an amazing card. But from here, we can now bring out our Dragon Shrine. So I'm going to activate it, send off another copy of the Justiciar, and by doing so we could also just send off another copy over here of the Promeneses, and that would be okay as well. So now we've pretty much got everything set up. I'm sure you guys can already guess what we're actually going to do here. So in this particular scenario, we're actually just going to normal summon out the Garmedes, and we're going to link these two right off the bat, and this will pretty much allow us to go for our Lib, because we already have the World Legacy Guardragon in the graveyard. So with that being said, Lib's effect will then allow us to set our Guardragon. Of course, you choose your timing however you want, because Promeneses will summon itself back out on the field. We're going to activate the World Legacy Guardragon, and this will pretty much allow us to actually special summon back the Justiciar. We'll just take the Promeneses and we'll take the Justiciar, go with it, and we're just going to summon out our LP, and then Guardragon will move LP, allowing us to summon out the Red Eyes from the hand, of course. Red Eyes' effect will then allow us to summon back our Justiciar. So in this case, you would actually be able to go for your yugioh. So we're going to take LP, we're going to take Lib, we're going to take the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and we're actually going to force out the Promeneses as well, simply for the fact that, yes, Promeneses will get banished, of course, but we're going to go for yugioh, we're going to go for the 4, and we're just going to bring out yugioh. So firstly, we'll shuffle our deck. And we're going to draw our 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So in this case, quite interesting. As you can see here, we have quite a bit of options. Lightning and 1-for-1 won't really work, but Wyver Bust or Claw Serpent, they could both search each other out. So even if we get one of them, it doesn't matter. We just have to consider our graveyard, what we actually have. So in this case, we have either light or dark. In this case, we're not going to use the Lib once more, because we're going for an OTK. So in this particular situation, I'm going to go for the Collapse Serpent because we have a light target. So we're going to take these 3, put them in the bottom of the deck, and then we're going to actually banish off the lib. And this will allow us to summon out our Black Dragon Collar Serpent, which is obviously quite nice, of course. So now we can actually link off the Collar Serpent, and this will allow us to pretty much go for our Pisty, which would go right over here. Of course, this pretty much means that you get to revive back your Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon again. And so with that being said, you also have to keep in mind that Collar Serpent will also activate its effect, allowing you to research your Wyver Buster so that you could use it later on. So that'd be quite nice as well. So you want to keep that in defense, and then Red Eyes can then revive back one of your monsters. So in this case, it doesn't really matter what you want to go for. Could go for Andrake for a bit of like shenanigans against your opponents, but it doesn't really matter what you really bring back. So in this situation now, we have quite a nice board over here. So let's see, what am I going to go for? I'm going to take the Pisty, and I'm going to take the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and we're going to link these 2 up, and this will allow us to go for a link 2. Just any link 2 will do. We're just going to be playing here the Protector Whelp of Destruction Swordsman. It's basically a link 2 dragon and kind of just acts as fodder, so it doesn't really matter here. We're not using the effect. It's just generic, and we just need it out here to clear the space. Then we could take the Andrake, and we could take the Justiciar as well. Both of these can be linked away, and this will pretty much allow us to go for our Twin Triangle Dragon. And yes, in this situation, as you guys can see, I've added in the Protector Whelp, and I've added in yugioh. So technically we are playing 17 cards. However, we could easily just take out the Abomination because yugioh in this case is better. And then we could also just take out one of the Phoenix, or we could take out Cerberus as well. And by taking out those particular options, we cleared the space for these 2 to actually be the main replacements, as it turns out to be a lot better in this situation. So now that Twin Triangle Dragon's actually out, can bring back this again. This time its effects are negated. We could then obviously take our Twin Triangle Dragon, and we'll take our Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon as well. We'll link these 2 up, allowing us to go for a Triple Burst Dragon. So Triple Burst, put it on here at the very far end of yugioh, of course. This will open up a zone over here, which will come in quite important later on. But with that being said, we now obviously have our Wyver Buster. So with that being said, we could take the Wyver Buster, bring it out by banishing off our Collar Serpents from our graveyard, because we don't need that anymore, whereas everything else does need to be used. So we're going to take the Wyver Buster, and we're going to take the Protector Whelp, and this will allow us to then link summon these 2, and allow us to actually summon out our Codebreaker Virus Swordsman. So because it's co-linked, we have a free zone over here as well, or triple burst zone as well. Technically, we could actually just go for our Codebreaker. So in this case, let's bring out our Codebreaker 0 Day. So with Codebreaker 0 Day, we could take the Codebreaker Virus Swordsman and the 0 Day, link them up of course, and this will pretty much allow us to bring out our Virus Breaker. And look at how nice this is. It's co-linked, and we have 2 zones opened up, very nice, and this will pretty much bring back these 2 again. And look at that, I mean, it's just a really nice board when you actually look at this. It's quite aesthetically pleasing to have this many links on the board, but at the same time, you could also just make a lot of different plays to follow up on this particular hand here. So you could actually just tribute off your Triple Burst Dragon and bring back your Protector Whelp. Because it's a link too, it would be easier to actually go into further plays later on. So you could actually just take your Protector Whelp, and you're going to take your Codebreaker 0 Day, and you could essentially just go for your, well actually in this case I got something a bit more interesting. So instead of bringing back this, you could still actually just make this work in some sort of way. So in this case, you could go for your, no, I mean, you'd still do the same thing. I mean, I was actually thinking of something else, but no, it's okay. We'll just go for this as normal, and we could take these and link them up, allowing you to go for your Borrello Dragon. But what I actually wanted to do before that was kind of, I guess, bring out this and go for technically 2 link 4s. So what I mean by this is, when I had these 2 on the field and this, I would actually take these 2 and we'll just go for Avramax. and then we take these two and go for a different link 4 as well. So you would have 3 link 4s on the board as opposed to just this over here, which you would link up to go for your Borrelo Dragon. So definitely very nice, of course, definitely quite a few options. Depends again just on how you actually adjust your own extra deck, and yeah, it's completely up to you. This is, hopefully it's going to show you guys the basic understanding of this. We've already shown it so far in the combo video as well, so definitely check that out. It goes into a bit more detail. This one is more so proving the consistency by actually doing proper test hands. And yeah, I don't think I really need to make any more test hands on this because I've already shown how the deck works in the combo video, and then to prove the deck's consistency in this. And in every single one of those situations, we're able to go into an OTK board quite easily. So with that being said, I hope you guys have fun with this particular deck. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely drop a like and also subscribe for more videos just like this. It really helps if you guys also share this video as well to spread it. But of course, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next time.